Hello and welcome. Today's video is all about the Wallke H9 all-wheel drive folding fat tire electric e-bike. And the reason for the dramatic intro music is because this e-bike is a bad boy. It looks rugged. It's my favorite colors, black and red for a bike. It's got a massive long-range battery, huge headlight, big seat. There's even a seat in back. There's two motors, one on each wheel, and there's a lot of options to play with in the menu, which I will go over later. But first, I'm gonna unbox it, assemble what needs assembly, and do pay attention to that front wheel. It's a little different than most e-bikes. And finally, I'm gonna take it for a ride during a heat index of 106. I'm gonna be flipping this all over the place.
Next, don't breathe because it might fall over. Florida woman films YouTube video during a hurricane/tornado watch. The hurricane is
It's close, but it's not here, so we're good.
over here in the front is the post where the handlebars slide into. And they only go in there one specific way.
Then you lift up,
Undo that, then you put it in it.
then you clamp it down.
It's much lighter without the battery, as you can tell by the sound of my voice. Now I can remove this thingamabob. I was gonna put the wheel on next, but I looked at the manual and they want me to put the light and the fender on while this is upside down. We'll see if that's good later. Next, the wheel. And with the wheel having a motor on the front,
Installation's a little bit different than usual.
gotta remove this top piece right here. And then over here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is this plastic piece, and once it's out, do not hit the brakes. I'm gonna remove both the giant nuts
Off this wheel.
and I'm also gonna remove the first washer. Not the second one though. There's a zip tie still on here that I didn't see. Oops. And there's a very specific way this goes on. So I'll do a close-up of it after I'm done putting it in. So originally I did that wrong. It's correct now because I confirmed with the company. So here on this side, there's a weird looking washer that goes on the inside. So it looks like that once you got it in there. And over on this side, there's just a regular washer. One of these also goes on the outside. And then back over on this side, another one goes on the outside. Next are these doodads on both sides. But before I screw those down, just for easier access to this giant nut, I'm gonna put that on first, tighten it down. And now finally, I'm gonna screw this piece down as well. Now the final step is to connect the motor. So that's just these two cables. Oh yeah, and I should probably connect the headlight as well. Pedals are marked with stickers left and right. The left one screws in counterclockwise and the right one clockwise.
It's probably best if I use a tool for this.
To install this back seat, first you gotta remove that little screw that's right there. Then there's these 4 doodads that go into 4 holes. You have to make sure all the way in there. Once they're all in there, you just slide it over. There we go. And then the screw goes back in, and this is probably not gonna be easy. It's kind of a tight spot. Now, I can put the battery back in. And it's a big, beefy boy. Oh yeah, this one had a lot of Chick-fil-A. Ooh yeah. And then I just gotta plug the battery in. So this bad boy folds, but I don't know. It's still a pretty heavy bike. It's over 100 pounds. So I'm gonna start with removing the battery. So for that, you just turn the key, it undoes the latch, you have to unplug it and pull it out. The pedals also fold down, so you just push them in towards the bike and then lift up. Next, the handlebars, so I just undo the latch, put this down. Next comes the fun part. If you're strong, this shouldn't be an issue. Undoing the latch is easy. I just don't know if I have the strength to fold this. We'll see. It's heavy. It's still pretty heavy. But hey, at least it folds, right? There we go. It will fit into my trunk, but I'm not gonna try putting it into my trunk. So lastly, or maybe this should have been done sooner, the seat folds down as well. Well, it slides down.
Please stand by as the bike ride portion of this video is loading, obviously. I inflated the tires to 26 PSI, max is 30. Next, let's see how fast it can go.
I got it on pedal assist 1 using just the rear motor. Let's see how fast it goes. And I'm gonna pedal. And I just have it set on the hardest gear to pedal in, which is usually what I do with e-bikes. I don't really see a point in messing around with the gears. All right, so pedal assist 1, it's capping out at about 19 miles an hour. Let's try 2. 22.6.8, 3. 26, 27. So pedal assist 4, kind of, it feels like my pedaling is useless at this point. It was so easy, it was too easy to pedal, and that was on the hardest gear to pedal in. You know, on pedal assist 5, it's gonna go even faster. Max speed is somewhere between 30 and 34 miles an hour. It's like 33, 34, but I'm not gonna film myself doing that, but you know, you saw how fast it went on 4.
28 miles an hour, that's how fast it went on mode 4. However, in a little bit here, I'm gonna show you how you can play around with the speed and even place a cap on it.
At one point, someone took my camera and the bike, went on their private property so that you guys could see the max speed. So thank you to the random stranger that did this. We appreciate it.
So it's best to check your local laws and see what the max speed is for e-bikes.
So this whole time, I've only been using the rear wheel motor. I'm gonna pull over in a little bit and kind of show you all the different, well, not all of it, there's too much to show you. Just some basic stuff that you can fiddle around with in the setting. Yeah, this thing's pretty high tech. There's a lot of settings. So if you look at the picture of the bicycle on here, one wheel is orange, the other one white. That means right now, the motor is only working on the rear wheel. To get into the menu, this is where it gets really fun. You hold down these 2 buttons at the same time, and there it is. I'm gonna skip display for now and go into advanced. To click on it, it's this little button right here. So you click that, and it goes into all of these settings. All right, I'm just gonna scroll down to the motor using the minus button. Motor mode. So once I get to it, again, I hit this button. Click on it, and here's where you can change it. Right now, the R means rear. So I'm gonna use the plus and minus to change it. There's also just the front motor, front and rear motor, and auto.
So yeah, there's actually a much easier way to do this. See this button here? You can do this at any point. If you hold it down, it quickly switches between all the different motor modes. So right now it's on rear wheel, press it again, front wheel, press it again, all-wheel drive, and then this last one is eco all-wheel drive. With eco, it's using both motors, but less power. Okay, yeah, I think this is a lot better than showing you guys this outside. So I hope you at least learned how to use the buttons. So now I can go, let's go into display. Here I can reset the trip, pretty self-explanatory. Toggle unit. This is where I can change it between imperial and metric, so kilometers versus miles. The wheel size, well, it is what it is. Speed limit, you can cap it. So if your state has specific laws on speed, which most do, maybe you should. It's not 62 miles an hour. It looks wild, but it's more like 32, 33. So you may have to play around with that to get it to cap at 28 or whatever you need. But let's move on. Voltage, I'm not gonna mess around with that because that's what it is. This is just the light.
for the screen. SOC view. I think this has to do with the battery, so you can view it as a percent or voltage. AL sensitivity, something to do with a light sensor. I don't know. I'm never gonna use this stuff. Dormancy, this one I might use. This is how long the bike will sit around in the on position before it automatically turns off. So I'm gonna put that on 9 minutes, and that's it for display setting. Here's where things get pretty interesting. Now, I didn't mess around with this first part in the video. I did in the last Wallke video that I did. So here, I'm just gonna leave it 0 to 5. 0 is actually pedal assist 1. I don't know why they have it like that. So pedal assist 1, you're getting 50% from the motor. You can change that to whatever the heck you want. Next one, 61% assistance from the motor, and so on. And you can change each one of these. Well, what I did in my previous video. So now I'm gonna jump over to 4 because I didn't change 4 or 5. Let's see what happens. Oh my God. I had it going 10, 20, 30, and then like 80 something percent. So 0 is pedal assist 1, pedal assist 2 is 1, and so on. So 4 is actually pedal assist 5. It kind of confused me at first, but I get it now. The next one down, assistant num. So here, I'm not able to really change anything. I've tried. Do not mess with that. The manual says just don't do anything with that. I can reset to default. You know what? In fact, I will, because I messed around with a bunch of the settings. So that'll restart everything. And when I go back into the menu, everything should be, well, I don't think I really changed. Oh yeah, see right here. I had this at 9 minutes, now it's back to 5. Back in advanced settings, next one is password. So you can set up a password for your bike. Motor mode, I already went over this. And throttle. Off, on. And that's pretty much it. Okay, last stop. I'm 12 miles into my trip, and this is, I'm not gonna show it last, but this is the last thing I'm doing. It's so hot out here. All right, so pedal assist 1. It's set on both motors. I am going to pedal up this hill. Now the motor does take a few pedals before it'll kick in. So let's see if it'll kick in before this hill really starts. Come on, motor. There we go, it's kicking in. It's a little bit of a workout on pedal assist 1. I will say that. Let's try 2. Oh, that's so much easier. That doesn't feel like a workout at all. I'm only gonna use the throttle. I'm gonna put it on pedal assist 1, using both motors, throttle only. Wow, it's so hard. Look at my legs. They're working themselves to death. Woo! I really feel the burn from above. This is the hottest day I've ever done this in. And let's see if the brake works. Brakes. I hope both of them work. They do. There's nobody on this trail today. I'm the only one crazy enough to do this in this weather. Like, as far as I can see, there is nobody. There's no one. That is not typical. No matter what time of the day I normally come out here, there's always people. Nobody's here. It's just me. I've been going for like 3 miles and it's just been me. It's kind of nice. If it wasn't an oven. The range on this e-bike varies. Well, it varies on any e-bike. You won't find it in their manual. You won't find it on their website. I asked. And what I got was an entire formula. Battery voltage, which is 48 volts on this one, times ampere hours, which is 40, equals watt hours, which is 1920. Then the watt hours are divided by consumption rate, which equals the range. Consumption rate. Yeah, I don't know where the heck to get this. So they gave me a couple examples. They're like, okay, imagine if you're doing pedal assist. I don't know which mode So pedal assist, where the motor's just kind of helping you while you're pedaling. Let's say the consumption rate is 20 watt-hours per mile. So you do 1920 divided by 20, and that gives you 96 miles. So if you're using throttle only, let's say the consumption is 30 watt-hours per mile, that would give you 64 miles. And consumption rate can also vary by how much weight is on the bike, so the total payload, the terrain, are you going uphill, are you going on flat ground, and which pedal assist mode or which mode you're in. To get the best range out of this, I would put it on rear wheel motor only, just a rear one, keep it on flat ground, and like pedal assist 1. I guess you could max out the range to infinite by not using the motor at all, because it's also a bike. If you're gonna be on sand or loose terrain, snow, slippery, wet after rain, front motor, and for like really rugged terrain, steep hills, both motors, all-wheel drive.
So each motor is 1000 watts or 1600 watts peak. Did I mention there's apps? There's two different ones. One is the Key-Disp, which works on both Android and Apple, which I'll show in a second. The other one is just for Apple, the Find My app, in case some jerk steals your bike.
Let's see how the app is doing. I know I didn't do 3.4 because there was already some mileage on here, like 1.6 I believe. So we are still connected. Good. Let's see if it stays that way for the remainder of the ride. My total trip was very blurry. Come on. 15 miles. Battery is at 92%, but the app did crap out at some point. I did do a couple bathroom breaks, took some pictures of the bike and I, so battery was definitely not at 100% after 8.8 miles. It was 90 something, but it wasn't 100. What's nice is, well, this is with the factory settings. If you mess up the settings, it may not go this nicely, but it is a smooth transition from pedaling to when the motor kicks in and when you're changing pedal assist. It doesn't feel like it jerks forward a whole lot. I'm gonna narrate for the rest of this because I really didn't want to be on camera. I was dripping in sweat. So here's some more specs. It can go up an incline at about 40 degrees, maybe a little more. So that's actually really good. Payload, up to 400 pounds is what it can carry. Height, you can be anywhere between 5'3" all the way to 6'4". It's got a Shimano 7-speed gear shift system, which I don't use. I just put it on the hardest one to pedal in, and I just keep it there. The tires are 20 by 4 inches. Big fat tires that'll roll over anything. I love fat tires. And there's dual suspension. The suspension in the front can be locked in place for a more rigid ride. I never do that. I like as much suspension as I can get. And the back, it is what it is, and it makes it for a more comfortable ride. I mean, the big fat tires, the big seat, the suspension on the front and the back make it for a enjoyable ride. My butt did not hurt after this, so I am very happy. I think the only complaint I have, aside from the weight, it's a huge bike, it's really heavy, is the kickstand. The kickstand is pretty far back there. I find it easier just to kick it up before I get on the bike, because once I'm on the bike, it's quite a reach. So that's it, boys and girls, helicopters, tomatoes, and whatever else is out there. I gotta go. It's time for my cheesy outro. Toodaloo-dalee-loo. I'll have a link to this e-bike in the video's description. If there's any coupon codes, those will be down there as well.